Hello, my name is Steven and I am here to give a progress update on my experience with the BackTo2020 program connected to EndMyopia program by Jake Steiner. It is currently early September 2018. The first time that I was introduced to these topics was in about July of 2016, and my introduction was through a 7-day very basic series of emails that Jake had released that helped empower me to have the tools to be able to understand what my diopters meant with my myopia, which was very helpful. It's actually interesting, I have my little tape measure here. To learn that you can use a simple tool. If you have a centimeter measurement, you can determine what your diopter correction would be for your myopia, which is very empowering. And also I was equipped with some other tools to understand why it was that I most likely developed myopia over the course of my childhood, teenage years, and into my time at university. And fairly recently I decided to sign up for the BackTo2020 program, which is paid. All the other information that I had learned was free. There were YouTube videos that I watched, blog articles that I read, and I really learned a lot of things. So I'm here to now articulate what it is that I learned, where I am, and what that's been doing for me. I started out with glasses script. The last glasses script that I got from the optometrist that I wore regularly was, I believe, negative 3.75 diopters in my left eye and negative 4 diopters in the right. And I currently have a normalized script, which is the prescription that I wear during the day when there's a good amount of light available. That is negative 2.5 in my left eye and negative 2.75 in my right. Now, with that script, I don't have the clarity that I had wearing the original prescription. There's no way. Particularly at night, I wear a quarter to a half diopter stronger than my current normalized script if I'm going to be driving. I can't resolve street signs using that script at night, and even during the day, if I wake up and for a variety of reasons, if my body's not in optimal condition, or if I'm stressed, or if there's not a lot of light, if it's dim outside, if it's gray, or for a variety of different reasons, that isn't perfect. So I don't want to say that I've reduced my myopia by that much, 1.25 diopters. I don't want to claim that, but I have learned a few things that I feel are pretty valuable, which are encouraging me to continue to try to become more aware of what's happening within my body, what's happening with how my behavior is influencing my health. In many different things, I'm paying attention to that in my life now, but in regards to my eyes, I'm really trying to understand how is it that what I do with my time, what I do with my behavior is going to have an influence on my eyesight, which I really value. As an aside, which is actually related to one of the more recent exercises that I've done in the BackTo2020 program, is you're encouraged to spend some time every day for 20 minutes when you wake up without putting on your corrective lenses, in addition to, at this point now, spending 1 day per week sans glasses. So I'd already been doing that actually on my own anyway, and it's really amazing. I have realized that I must be able to see the world without glasses. I really need this. So I'm pretty determined. So what is it that I've learned? What is it that I've really taken away? Whether or not I even see future improvement or reduction in my, or reversal of my myopia, which I believe that I can and will see once I am able to determine what all of the factors are that have caused it, and what behavioral changes I can make in my lifestyle to accommodate the reversal. But what have I learned that I'm going to keep with me either way, that have been habits that I've definitely solidified? Here we go. First of all, if I'm doing any work that's close up for more than a moment, I don't wear my full strength prescription. I don't even wear the normalized script, which would be a prescription that's slightly weaker than what would allow you to see to 20/20 in all situations. It gives you just a little bit of challenge to find blur at the edge of your bubble. So some street signs are lacking some clarity. The license plates are lacking some clarity. You can't fully see all the way out. I don't even wear that normalized script when I'm doing up close work. And in fact, right now I have the phone, 50 centimeters from my eyes, and I'm using my differential script, which is a full diopter weaker than my normalized script. Habit. It's been part of my life now for over a year and a half. When I'm reading, when I'm at the computer, I don't need any convincing from anyone else. Thank you, Jake. I get it. I only need to use this much correction that I'm wearing now to see at the distance of working up close. So one of the main takeaways I've had is only wear as much correction as you need for the task that you're doing. And Jake doesn't encourage you to have more than 2 pairs of glasses, or maybe the third could be your full script for high demand activities in low light, like driving, where your safety could be concerned. But you're not supposed to have a ton of sets. But I wear a differential script when I'm working on any work up close. Definitely I feel less strain on my eyes. Another habit that I have started to build into my lifestyle is to wear the normalized script when I'm out and about in the world, and to be actively focusing, to practice active focus. So I'm trying to resolve clarity, which sometimes is blur, sometimes is a double image that I'm trying to clear up, and that's a habit that I've now built. Another is not spending too much time doing work up close, specifically not just too much time cumulatively, but you don't want to spend too much time. I'm trying not to spend too much time straight through. So it's been something that I've now incorporated and built into a habit to work for a short block of time and then give my eyes a change in focal plane distance. So I'm not keeping my eyes in a ciliary lockup mode where they've been focusing on something at a specific distance for a very long period of time. I'm looking at this short distance at the computer, for instance, for maybe up to 30 minutes. I have a timer on the desk. When the timer goes off, I take off the differential script, I go outside, I might go upstairs, take a walk, start looking at something at a distance. So that's a habit that I've built. You can learn more about all of these things if you want, but that's something that I have definitely built into my life as well. And I've also learned more about how to select the glasses themselves for various different reasons that you can learn about, but these aren't the best, although they are clear, so these frames admit more light into my eye than if they were thick and black, for instance. But also to have more glass, so that more of what your eyes are perceiving out in the world, so that you're not just looking through a very narrow area to see the world. Related to that, also, I've gained an awareness of my peripheral vision. I had actually done a wilderness skills series of exercises in the past that had brought this to my attention, and I don't know that this very specific exercise I learned through EndMyopia, but if you take your arms and you extend them all the way, I can't do it on the camera, and you go from your hands being in front of you and you just go wider and wider and wider, and you keep your eyes focused in front of you, at some point you'll find that there's a point where your fingertips disappear in your vision, but then you can bring them slowly back in, and we nearly have 180 degrees of perception that we're able to enjoy. But most of the time we're actually focused on a very slim, very narrow portion of our visual field. The myopia that I have, and many of us do, is a metaphor for how we're seeing the world, and it is expressing itself in myopic vision, nearsightedness. Broadening that awareness has been a lesson that's hit home from this program that I'm grateful for, that is in alignment with other things that I'm trying to learn about in my life, which ties into maybe the last and most important point, which is I've already known and come to know for myself over the past few years that the life that I want is one engaged with the natural landscape, as opposed to having a life where I'm sedentary, sitting at a desk, at a computer, or holding a phone for the most energetic and capable years of my life. I'm done. And I've been making major changes in my, we could call it career, that are already allowing me to take a lot more time to have freedom to do things like spend time outside. Spending more time with distance vision, looking at a distance outdoors, is going to benefit my eyes, but it's also beneficial for everything in my body, mind, and soul. And so I think that, you know, in the program, Jake says a lot about how some people need to build new habits or find activities that bring them outside, that encourage them to look outside, because so much of our culture today is based upon a fixed focal plane, because you're sitting at a computer or staring at a screen for hours and hours and hours and hours a day, which was what I was brought up with. And so building a lifestyle that brings me outdoors, that brings me outside in times of light, that encourages me to look at things at a distance, to have a broader view of the world, has been one of the most important things that I've gotten out of the program. Again, it's September 2018. I haven't seen much reduction in my script in a while. I definitely feel like at the beginning I immediately reduced a bunch that was just strain-induced overprescription. We'll see what happens. I certainly am hopeful. I'm putting in as much positive energy as I can, in addition to trying to build better habits. It's an honest update. I hope that any of this has been helpful for any other people who are looking to reverse their myopia. I can't really say that this specific program is the one or anything like that, but I definitely shared some of the things that I've taken away that have helped me, that were free to learn. And I'm really grateful for that, and we will see what continuing to put effort into this project will have for these eyes and this body, this human. So thank you for listening. Jake, thanks for your help out there. And yeah, there will be an update again in time.